Hello, my name is Renee Lamalino with Modern Homemakers, and today we're going to learn how to cut men's hair. So here's my husband, Tony. He's going to be our model for today, and I've already got his hair wet. You need to start with wet hair. I've been cutting Tony's hair for our entire marriage, which will be 38 years very soon. So by modest calculations, if he got one haircut a month at $10 a haircut, we've saved over $4,000 on haircuts, and could be way more than that because a lot of people pay like maybe $30 for a haircut. So you can save a substantial amount of money by learning how to cut men's hair. Okay, so he's a little bit taller than some of my other models, so I'm gonna have to get up on my, yeah, you don't have to scrunch, you're okay. And you don't have to be silent. We won't torture you and make you be silent, because I know that's hard for you.
I'm a funny guy.
So we're going to go ahead and section this off with my clips the same way as we do for other haircuts. So even though that may seem a little bit funny putting a clip in a man's hair, but we're going to do that same way. That way we can have one section that we're working with at a time. So we part it down the middle, and then we part again at the ear, dividing it into 4 sections. So here's a part at the ear and in the back. And don't worry, if you're the type of person that just, tries to be meticulous and get things just absolutely perfect, don't worry about that. These partings don't have to be that precise. This just helps us work with one little section of hair at a time. And at the bottom, I'm leaving about a ½ inch, quarter inch to a ½ inch, or maybe even a full inch of hair at the bottom. This is going to be just a basic man's haircut. Okay, let's start in the back. I'm going to comb this down. Let's look and see where his natural hairline is, right here. So if you go above that point, you're going to have to shave. If you, you'll have to shave that. But if you stay below that natural hairline, you won't have to shave the neckline. So you can see all this stuff hanging down. That's what we'll have to shave whenever we get done. Okay, so that's going to be our length that we'll finish with. I'm going to do that same thing around the front and sides to determine the length here. I'll go right with this little wrinkle here. Oh, but it's not straight, so that's a problem.
I always count my ears when we're done.
All right, so around the ears, we're going to go sideways. We're going to go up and around the ear. So just follow the ear. Now you can use clippers also. Tony doesn't care for that that more kind of buzzed look. He kind of prefers the cut. But if you want it just it's real short around the ear, if you prefer that look, then you would need to use clippers, which is a totally different method. So I'm going to go up. These little sideburns that are hanging out, we're going to shave those off when we get done too. Which just depends on what look you like, and he just doesn't care for the sideburn look, so we always shave those. Alright, I'm going to pull his ear down so I can get a little bit neater up and around that ear. And then in the back, I'm going to follow that line of the ear. So just making kind of like a fender well in a car. You know, we're going around. Or around the wheel of the car. That's what I was thinking. Alright, that's looking good. I'm going to blend that in with the back. Then we're going to do that same thing on the other side. Okay, now that we've got the outline done all the way around and around the ears, we're going to start layering up the back. So we'll take down a hair like 1/4 of an inch at a time. We're going to hold this up. When you hold this hair up, you're going to see the short hair that I already cut is right there. So that's my guideline. I'm going to snip up. So just pulling out from the scalp and cutting it the same length as that bottom guide that we made. So we'll do all of this, we'll just keep on coming up. And it's all going to be the same length out from the scalp. All the section in the back. So it's just short, same length. And then around the ears, that you just follow that trimming that we did around the ears. So once again, whenever you pull this out, if you can't see that hair underneath, then make your parting a little thinner, because you need to see that hair underneath, because that's going to show you the length that you need to cut. Okay, I'm going to continue this same thing all the way up to the top, and then I'll get back with you after we get that part done. So it's the same step, just pulling it out and snipping all the way up to the tops of these two sections. So we had the back done. This is all layered all the way up to the top of those two sections. And we're going to come and do the front. So this is something that you'll find a lot of time whenever you're doing a man's haircut, that this section here looks like a receding hairline. Actually, in Tony's case, it's always been that way. It hasn't changed in 38 years. It's always been back that way. So I do a little special something around that area to make it not as noticeable. So the first two partings, you'll notice that there isn't even any hair in that spot. So I'm going to do the same thing that we did in the back. That this is my line right there. So that's where I'm going to cut. Okay. Then here we just have that one little sprig coming down. I'm not going to layer it. I'm just going to cut it at the same length as these. Then we come up. These are going to be layered. So here's my line right there. I'm going to come up from that. Around the ears, it's going to be short and layered. just about one finger, you hold your finger in there and you're just going to cut up from that finger. So you got some distance in the bottom of the finger and some distance in the top of the finger, but it's pretty close around your finger. So then when we bring this down, now we're coming over that section that receded. Instead of layering there, I'm just going to cut it level or even with the rest of it. So this is layered on this side of it. This is layered on the top of it. But right there, I don't layer. It's my secret. I see lots of men's haircuts that wasn't done, and it just leaves that jutted out spot. This will look so much nicer. Then the top, I got a little section. So I'm careful that I don't draw that little area that I want to leave down there. Leave that, because I'm just going to layer the top. And once again, leaving that area, I'm going to layer over here. All the way back. And then I'm going to blend this in with the back. I'm going to make sure that it's the same length. It looks good as we come back here. It's blending in real nicely. Same length. And then I'll just randomly pull out sections and make sure I don't have any long hairs. Okay, then I'm going to do that same thing to the other side. So I've completed the haircut, but before I stop, I like to pull sections up and just make sure there's no little straggler long hairs hanging anywhere. Just kind of give yourself a double check. Looks good. Okay. So then, only thing left is to use a razor to shave like the back of the neck, and if you want to, also the sideburns. You could use a straight razor or just like a little disposable razor. Probably want a little bit of a shaving cream or some kind of a foam on the back of the neck. Just that, go ahead and put your head down, Tony. That little bit of hair that hangs below the hairline. It's just kind of uncomfortable, and it doesn't look good either. I actually like a straight razor for this better, but I don't have any right now. You could also use an electric razor for this. I need a paper towel, just a damp paper towel. Another thing that you can use, if you get like a lot of loose hairs, you can get like a very soft brush and just kind of brush those hairs off. And then you can see what things are still attached. I think I should have used the electric razor. This is a little bit too cheap. Okay, that looks pretty good. So that's the back. And then if you want to, you can also do the shorten up the sideburns. See if they're even. Looks good. This could be, we could put a little mousse in here, we could blow dry it, style it, or you can just let it go like that. There you have it. How to cut men's hair.